Welcome back to another sunny day in Portugal. Today I'm going to be talking about how to meet people when you're traveling or when you move abroad, right? Because I wouldn't say now I'm traveling in Portugal anymore. I've been here 6 years on and off, and I've got communities. Some points those communities have been large, there have been multiple communities, and other times there have been smaller, concise. I've been a bit more selective about how I spend my time and my energy. But the focus today is going to be on how I'm meeting people in the first place. Now, I think the very first thing to realize is that when you live in a smaller town, and I've done a video on this one, it's very different to living in a big city. Different factors on that. I won't talk about those. That's covered in another channel, in another video. But what I want to talk about is how you actually do meet people. So the first of which is an activity, right? So when I moved here, I basically stayed here because of surf. I live right by the beach. It's like 5-minute walk that way. I have surfboards, I have a lot of surf friends. And as soon as you start meeting people that do the same things as you, you have a very easy thing to talk about. And because I'm always like out walking with my surfboard, you very quickly get to know the surf shops, you get to know people, you get to have a chat with people in the water sometimes. You know, after you come out, you check with the waves. You start very, very quickly to develop a way that you can chat with people and build relationships. And you can obviously take those conversations further if you want. You can meet for a coffee, you can, go out to parties or just hang out together, And I think that's the very first one, is just like activities. I think the second one is just start talking to people, right? So even if you don't have an activity, I feel this is a bit more easy in a small town because you perhaps go to the local restaurants and the local cafés a bit more. So all of a sudden, you start to recognize people, people start to recognize you very quickly if you go there 3 or 4 times. And all of a sudden, you're starting developing these relationships. The conversations can lead to other things. You talk about your interests, talk about their interests. And that leads to some friendships, some great friendships in some cases. And then, let me think of any other ways. The other thing is work, right? I think this is the big final one, is that, I go to a co-work, right? And I met tons of interesting people. The co-work that I ended up going to was curated. The boss was great. He was a local guy that's lived in the area for ages. And he was very big on the culture. He wanted happy people to be there. He wanted to develop this community of people. So I think that's another way, go to a co-work. They're not always like this. Not all of them that I've been to. I've traveled a lot. Not all of them are like this, but find a good one. You'll find good people and you'll start new relationships. All right, guys, that's it for today. Bye-bye.